Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Runnin the Paint Podcast. Guys, how you feeling today?
Feeling
Ready to talk
great.
about ready to talk about the in-season tournament. Ready to talk about the Harden trade.
Yeah, we've got some things to talk about. As this video comes out, the first day of the inaugural in-season tournament, it begins for the first time ever. What, Coach Cove, you all right?
Someone called me.
Oh my gosh, what an immaculate start to the episode. But before we get started with the in-season tournament, before we preview those games and talk about the tournament, we need to talk about the James Harden trade. Harden was finally traded to the Clippers after 4 months since his trade request. He goes to the Clippers. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this trade? Well, do we need to give the details of the trade?
Well, yeah, I mean, who do you think won the trade? Let's start there.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Neither team.
so first,
Neither team.
so the details of the trade, you have James Harden and PJ Tucker going to the Clippers, and in return, the Sixers got back Marcus Morris Sr., Robert Covington,
Bum.
Nicholas Batum, KJ Martin,
Bum.
2 first-round picks,
Bum.
2 second-round picks, and a pick swap.
With the Thunder, right?
Yes, that one of the first-round picks is from the Thunder, and the other one is an unprotected pick in 2028 from the Clippers. So,
Goglin, why don't you want to talk about this trade?
yes, he's
Because
been
he didn't go
talking.
to Houston. Because he
No,
didn't go
I
to
don't know,
Houston
no,
like you
no.
wanted.
No, because he's a bearded bum. He's a loser. But I will say, this trade makes me look a lot smarter with my with my standing predictions.
He had
Oh, yeah.
he had the
Makes me look
Clippers
a
as the
lot
1 seed.
smarter.
I had the
Mhm.
Clippers as the 3 seed back in August,
Mm.
and I'm very high on the Clippers now, especially after
Where
that
did
trade
you
as well.
have them in our prediction video?
I think lower towards like 6 or 7 spot. But
Why did
I
they
also said
drop
in like
fourth
episode
spot
1 or
for you?
2 that they were playing defense real well. They looked really good out of the gate. They looked good last night too. I mean, they were up by a lot. And then I don't know what happened really.
They lost
They
their
looked good until
legs.
they lost.
They lost their
Yeah.
legs. Second night of a back-to-back, usually their guys never play that, so Kawhi especially
How
was
you gonna lose your
fatigued.
legs to a 38-year-old? Can we talk about that?
Well, LeBron is not like a
It's
dude.
true.
LeBron went crazy.
LeBron is not a normal 38-year-old.
No, he's not.
They're all up there though. I mean, those guys are all over 30. I think Russ is over 30 as well, right?
I
Russ
think
is
I
way over 30.
saw a clip of
AD?
Draymond talking like they're all over like 13, 14 years in the NBA now.
Yeah, I saw this crazy stat. It was like that game was the second time ever where 3 30-year-olds had 35 points in the same game with LeBron, Leonard, and Paul George.
What
And
was the
who
other
had the
one?
most?
That was the 3.
Oh, what you
That's
said it was
super
the second
Kawhi.
time though, right?
Oh, I don't know what the other time was. I could probably find that though while you guys are
Yeah,
talking.
I'm curious to know.
Who do you guys think it would be?
Probably MJ
I
and
was about to say probably the Bulls or some shit.
Yeah, I'll look. But what you guys keep talking about the trade from? Well, do you guys want to move to the Sixers side of things? What do you guys think about
well,
the Sixers return?
yeah, right.
The Sixers are gonna move those picks. It's not like they got those
That
picks so they can trade it for another star.
For another guard, yeah.
I've heard rumblings about like Zach LaVine, maybe.
yeah, I heard that as
Like a
well. They were
replacement.
also talking about his teammate DeMar though, and like we said in our rankings video, it was pretty much like the Raptors stars names were getting thrown out there, and the Bulls stars names were getting thrown out there.
But I don't know about the Raptors. The Raptors are balling.
Yeah, the Raptors are ball. I mean, I swear, maybe it was just you talking trades to me, but I thought I had heard Siakam and
I could
I'm trying to
definitely
get
see
Siakam.
DeMar or
That's me.
Levine going there. I could definitely see one of those guys going.
well, I'm saying could the
The more I
76ers
see it, the less
snag?
I like it.
Yeah, could the 76ers snag OG Anunoby for those picks, or could they trade for Scotty
OG
Barnes with those
Anunoby's
picks?
They
Oh,
they
I don't
wouldn't
know.
they
Scotty
wouldn't
Barnes.
Scotty has
Scotty Barnes
been
got to be untouchable right
would
now.
you say
If they didn't trade him for Kevin Durant, they're not going to trade him for DeMar DeRozan.
Well, so Jackson, you've probably watched the most Raptors out of all of us so far. Would you say that Scotty's been their best player this year so far?
Easily.
He's been their
Easily.
seeing the box
Like
scores,
I
he's
think
been
by
their best
far.
player.
I think by far Scotty's been their best player. Scotty is
Well,
a
then the
bucket.
asking price would probably be higher. So
Yeah.
Yeah, if you think about it, he wasn't even considered their best player before, and they wouldn't even trade him for Kevin Durant. There's no way they're gonna trade him for bits and pieces now.
Could the
he's
Sixers?
probably untouchable at this point.
I don't know what the rules are with trading players back to back, but Drew Holiday just got moved right away. Could the Sixers unload some of the guys they just got in a deal as well as those picks? Like, could they just move the
For
entire
Drew?
package?
No, they won't do that.
Oh.
East rivals won't do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They won't do it during
Yeah.
the season.
Oh no, he's saying can they unload some of the people that they just
Yeah, like
traded for?
Covington or Batum. They
Oh,
got,
like
right?
the guys they just got. They
Yeah.
probably could because KJ Martin just got traded after a
He was
week
like
of
the
being
highest.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they said
God.
that he was like the highest valued guy in that deal.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
accurate. That's accurate.
That's pretty accurate. The other guy. It's funny that they all play like the same position. Though I'm like they're gonna
Yeah.
have to unload a couple of those guys.
Dude, I saw the funniest thing that it was like this trade has the most washed up players in history. Because you just
Well,
look at
James
all of
Harden
them.
being the most.
Is Harden washed up though? Like, if he comes out and averages 20 and 10 in LA, what the heck?
I
He's
disagree.
washed
He
up
let
compared to averaging 36 a game.
That's all he needs to do, though. And he's got 3 other guys. He's gonna serve a role and thrive in that role if he shoots 50% from deep, which he could easily do, bro. Like, if he just stands in the corner wide open,
I don't know about 50% from three. That's kind of
And
crazy.
45,
he's
45, you
not
want to
gonna
call
stand.
it?
When is
Okay.
he ever gonna stand in the corner? He's gonna be the main ball handler.
After digging, I found the stat. I found the
Right.
other game. So the other game was between the Lakers and 76ers in 1969.
Whew,
It was
Mhm.
Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, and Hal Greer.
man.
all
Greer-
studs.
how Greer
All
a dog.
absolute stars.
That's crazy. That's crazy when you think about it, though. That's the first time in that's like 54 years.
Wow.
That is wild.
He was a galaxy on one of my hoops grids. Hal Greer.
Hal Greer is he's an all-time. He's a legend.
All right, I'll
Mm-hmm.
take a prediction question based off what we just talked about. Do you think it'll happen again within the next 5 or like 2 or 3 years with KD maybe or the Clippers playing each other? You know, there's a lot of guys who are sort of capable of doing that are in that age range. So
Well,
35
it
and up,
depends.
35 points, right? Or 30 and up,
Oh, we can
35
also
points.
see it like say Bronny gets drafted to a team like who knows, like the Suns or something.
Do you know what I'm saying though?
LeBron and KD together.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh. Yeah, because LeBron said he wants to go play with him. I was like, Bron.
He's going wherever he gets drafted. So,
Yeah.
and that like.
You know, that's an interesting question.
Rockets,
I bet you it
Bronny.
happens again real soon.
It's an interesting question. Well, something that I noticed from last year that I was just thinking about was like, man, how many times do we get this much star power playing in the same game nowadays? Like, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I
No.
agree.
Are we considering? Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
It was fun
if
to watch
Bronny-
too.
if
Very
Bronny
fun to
gets
watch.
drafted to the Rockets, LeBron probably won't want to sign there because he doesn't want to be the second best player.
Okay, we don't need to worry about
Yeah,
Bronny
why
yet.
are we talking about
What
Bronny
Jackson?
and the
You
Rockets?
just want to talk, dude.
All right.
Listen,
Well, that's a
He
good.
had
So actually, Nick, who would you predict would be the next three to
Okay.
do it? Because honestly, I could see it happening. I could see it happening again this year.
Yeah, right. Like
If the-
that happened without overtime. I'm pretty sure they all had, unless LeBron maybe got it in overtime.
Uh,
But
LeBron
Kawhi and
definitely
PG
no,
got it in
both
Kawhi,
got
overtime.
30
Kawhi
points.
and LeBron both got that in overtime.
Oh. Well, KD, I guess, would be the only
Wait,
other guy
it's
that comes to mind.
over 30.
It's
Or
the
was it
Over
three
30?
30-year-olds to score 35 points in the same game.
You know who plays a lot of this year?
Dame, right?
I could see the Warriors and Clippers. PG, Kawhi,
And
Steph,
Steph.
Yeah, right.
Clay. That's an easy one.
You're
That's
right.
a decent one as well.
It is not easy.
Well,
Okay,
that's
do we think there'll be 4 guys who are 30 or over who score 35 plus? I mean,
that never
That's what I'm
happened
saying. There's
before.
I named 4,
That would
but
be
only
asking a
3
lot.
of them have to.
Let me do some research really quick.
but all that would have taken last night was AD to go off in the second half or something and
Yeah.
have a burner for 15.
80's 29.
But
isn't he?
but he's not 30 yet. Well,
Oh.
I don't know who brought it up, but bringing up the Bucks with Dame and Giannis down the line, that could totally happen with them and
Yeah.
like versus LeBron or Durant or something like that. That's a good question though.
Yeah.
But
Guys are lucky
so
Fred VanVleet's only 29.
does this with this trade, do you guys think that the Clippers are more of a favorite in the Western
No.
Conference? Do you think they are
No.
the favorite in the Western Conference?
Nope. Nope.
I don't know
Regular
about the
season,
favorite
yes. Playoffs,
in the West.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
There's a case for it. I wouldn't disagree with someone who made a strong case for it because the only other team that I can see them, well, it's Phoenix and Denver.
Yeah.
There was a case for that before they made the trade.
Minnesota.
Right, that's true. I
Jackson,
think I don't think
Minnesota.
you're right.
They beat Denver last night. Just saying.
Stop. Just stop, Josh.
We're not. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Then on the Sixers side of things, I don't think it's that bad for the Sixers because now they know what their team is. They know the return.
They really need with all their trade assets, like we were talking a little bit about it, I think they really need to hold on to that 2028 unprotected first round pick because in 3 or 4 years, that Clippers team is going to be absolute garbage again.
They're going to be old.
Yeah, it's very possible.
They're
Right.
hot garbage.
Old.
They're going to get like probably.
It could be.
But they're gonna have Kobe Brown, who I like. He's one of the rookies that I like.
Yeah, he's been getting some run with this
Jordan
trade.
Miller and Bones Highland might still be there.
Dallas.
Oh, shout out to Dallas! Oh, once again. Oh my gosh.
We're not playing. Relax.
Miles, where do you think? So, does this trade? It doesn't. We talked about it. Doesn't really move the Clippers. Like we still kind of had them at 3 before. We had them at 3 after. Does it move the Sixers though? Like Sixers were kind of. They're in the same spot, right?
So
neither team got better, neither team got worse.
But nothing crazy. They got rid of a toxic environment in their clubhouse, but that's about it.
That's why I think it could make them a little better. Because, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, I guess it'll depend on if they trade one of their draft assets for a guard later in the season. But, like, when you look at this team and the way that Maxi's been playing, the way that Oubre's been playing to start the season,
right.
Why
Are you
couldn't
talking about the best shooting guard in the NBA?
Why couldn't the Sixers be third in the East like the last few years when you rank them? When you think about it, they could be the exact same as the last few years. But they could be, 4 or 5 where we all had them projected. But there's definitely with the way that I know the Knicks have played some good defensive teams, with the way that Julius Randle and Brunson have come out to start the season, the Sixers could definitely be better than the Knicks, and they definitely could be better than the Cavs.
I just don't want to hear about Jalen Brunson right now.
I could see possibly better than the Cavs. The Cavs have been really disappointing, obviously, to start. But the Knicks, I told y'all were really high on them, man. I'm telling you, they're not good.
They're very dependent on Randle. I can't speak. Brunson and Randle. They're very dependent on those two. Randle, yeah. They're very dependent on that duo, and when that duo is, I wrote it down, bro. Hold on, that duo is. I can't find it. I'm sorry. All right.
Keep hating on the Knicks.
They were bad. They've been bad the whole season, like shooting 38 and 27%, I think, from the field after last night.
They've been, yeah. But hey, Brooklyn is 2-2 on the season, which is 4th in the East. They're not compared to these other teams. They're not. That just shows the East has been brutal to start the year.
The East has just been really up and down, like every single team. It's just so hit or miss to start.
The Cavs got a very good win last night, though. I will agree with that.
Very good win. Yeah, but like when you look at the standings right now, there are 7 teams in the East that are 500 or better. In the West, there are 11 teams that are 500 or better right now. Only through 4 or 5 games for these teams, but that's still saying something to begin the year.
Yeah.
Want to get into the in-season tournament?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right, so the first ever in-season tournament. Before we get into previewing all these games, I'm going to go over the rules for everyone at home that, may not be, completely confident with what the rules are, because as soon as when these rules came out, I was a little confused at first on how all this was going to work. I'm sure most people were as well.
Confused.
But basically, there are 3 groups in each conference that were randomly decided by last year's regular season standings. So 3 groups in each conference with 5 teams. In the month of November, every Tuesday and Friday, besides this coming Tuesday for Election Day, each team will play 4 group play games against, obviously, the teams in their group. All of those games count towards the regular season record as well. So these count for both regular season and this in-season tournament. After those group play games, the best record from each of the 6 groups advanced to the knockout round, as well as 2 wild card teams from each conference, so the next best record from each conference. And there will be a knockout bracket with a quarterfinal round in an NBA market. the semifinal and championship game, both of those in Las Vegas. The quarterfinal and semifinal games also count toward the regular season record. The only game that does not count is the championship game of this tournament, and that's basically it. So, you guys got all
Doesn't
that?
yeah, don't those 4 teams play one extra game? Isn't that right?
I think the only way they play an extra game is if they go to the championship game.
All right.
Because
I
I
then
think,
I must have read something that was wrong last night, or because I read that it was the semifinal and the championship that they get the extra game.
interesting.
But
I'm pretty
I
sure
could definitely be wrong.
the semifinal I think also counts towards the regular season. Because then
Okay.
in between those days of the,
They're playing the
semifinal and
consolation.
quarterfinal game, the regular season, yeah, the other
Right.
teams are playing consolation games, which also count towards the regular season. Each player that makes it to that final knockout round earns $50,000, which I
That's
mean,
good.
I'm sure that it increases with each round you go. And in this whole in this tournament, they are having like an all tournament team and an MVP of the tournament. So a lot of fun.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I got two. There were 2 things that I didn't know that I just found out, and one is that the tournament is played throughout like 2 months of the season. Like there's a game here, a game here. It's like every couple of weeks they're just spotted in.
Yeah, it's
I thought like
every
yeah,
Tuesday and Friday in November.
when I heard tournament, I thought it was gonna be like all the teams are playing back to backs. Like they're just gonna play those 4 or 5 games and then go right to the thing. I think that I
That would
mean
not be fair to the Clippers.
that would be fun though. So I don't know. That was just my initial. I
Yeah.
literally just found that out. And
Yeah.
then the second thing I found out was when Miles said that they selected them randomly. They had 5 pots after the regular season, and they picked 3 uh, teams out of each pot, and that was the randomness. So it wasn't just like I just want to explain how
Yeah.
random it was. It was like 1 through 3 were in one pot, 4 through 7, whatever, were in the next pot.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for pointing that out. That is an important distinction.
I just learned both of those
Yeah.
things. So yeah.
My thoughts on the in-season tournament and like exactly what you were saying is I watch a lot of European soccer, like the football over there. This very
is World
much
Cup.
reminds me of the biggest tournament that goes on throughout the year. Starts
World
in
Cup.
September, goes until May, and they take breaks in between, but like overall it's like once every 2 weeks, like once a week they play a couple games. Or like they play a game once a week during the middle of the week. It reminds me a lot of that, and it gets billions of views. It is the biggest tournament that everyone freaking watches over there. It's so much fun, and I'm so excited for this in-season tournament because it reminds me so much of that.
Mhm.
I'm very stoked about it. I think it's gonna bring in so much like more viewership. I know some people are very down on it. It's like, oh, it's gonna be weird. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Jackson, what do you think?
It's really confusing to me.
Not that confusing.
What
What's
are you
confusing?
what are you confused about, Jackson?
The only thing I'm confused about is the 1 and 2 game, how many they count for.
I'm just
We talked about
confused
that.
why we have to play all the good teams.
Oh my gosh, Nick just
Quit being
explained
a
it.
homer.
Because you were terrible last year.
That is
Yeah, that's true.
accurate. And you're
We
terrible
were.
to start this year.
So all the teams in the West are good,
Now-
minus like 3.
Now
you're one of
And
the
you're
3.
one of those
Marco.
3.
And those
Now-
3
now
are the worst in the
listen.
yeah.
There's only
Listen here. The worst team in the league is the Grizzlies. Can we start there?
Okay,
The
we'll
worst team
get
in the
we'll
league.
get
But who
to
are the
them.
Grizzlies
We'll
playing?
get to them later because they are in a game in this tournament.
Right.
Luckily we do not have to talk about the Rockets today because they do not play on Friday.
yeah.
So let's get into each of these games. First up, the first game of the night, we have the Cavs and the Pacers, East Group A. That's at 7 o'clock in Indianapolis. We don't know if Garland and Allen will be good to go. We also don't know if Tyrese Halliburton will be good to go for the Pacers. He missed their game last night in Boston, where the Pacers just got absolutely shellacked by the Celtics. That was
Shellac.
crazy.
I like that
Yeah.
word.
Shellac.
That's
I
my
always
new,
love
that's my new favorite word.
that.
But what do you guys think about this matchup? These two teams played I believe on Saturday in
yeah.
Cleveland, but
It's
there was
almost a
all
week.
yeah.
Nick, how was that game?
Yeah, Nick was
I
at the
mean,
game.
it was great. I had a great time, and
He
I
got
was
to watch Greg
surprised.
Porter Jr. He's fine.
Craig Porter, yeah, I got to see him make his NBA debut, and that was fun. And he didn't play that many minutes, and he didn't play great during those minutes, but he has looked very good since then.
Yeah, he's looked very
Um,
good.
but I was very surprised that the Cavs were in the game the entire time until like Tyrese Halliburton went down and hit 3 threes on back-to-back-to-back possessions, and the whole night I was sitting there thinking, dang, Tyrese Halliburton can't shoot. He can do all this diamond stuff. He can hit the float. He can't pull up though. And then
He
bang,
made
bang,
3 in
bang
a
to
row.
end the game. But he just put the nail.
Dude,
I'm
and
like,
that
wow,
then
he
when
can
he
do
was
it.
when he was yelling at the Cavs fans saying it was your fault, he was talking to you.
No, I didn't say. I was just sitting there thinking, like,
You were talking trash. Don't be talking trash.
I was to say,
I was like, wow.
when it talks about this specific game tomorrow, if like what Nick said, Halliburton came in clutch at the end of the game on Saturday. If he doesn't play, and we were without a bunch of players too still, so like if Halliburton's not playing, even if we don't have DG and Allen, I might give it to the Cavs just because we were in that
There's
game
this
and then
guy.
Halliburton got hot.
There's this
I'm with
guy
you.
named Donovan Mitchell. He scores every single point for the Cavs every game. So
Well,
I wouldn't be worried
he
about
also
the Cavs.
he didn't play in that first game either.
He didn't play in that
Right.
first.
Exactly, and he's pretty good at basketball.
He-
He's been off to a
pretty
very
good.
hot start.
The Pacers
He's
are one of my
really
teams
good.
that I have trending down early in the season. Miles Turner has looked like a bum
Yeah.
in
Really?
these first couple games. Yeah, I thought he was a lot better than he's looked so far. And that dude, they got, I think it's Jalen Smith that is his backup with the goggles, and
He's been good.
killed us. Yeah, he killed us the other night. He was out the next game, I think. He hadn't played, but I'm excited to see what he can do this year in that role if he can step up, because the Pacers have a fun team. One of the other things I took away from that game is how deep they were, because my boy Jarris Walker, another one of my favorite draft picks, didn't even get in the game. 'cause they
Dude,
were
you
playing
think
guys like
you think
McConnell,
TJ
Neesmith went
McConnell
off.
didn't play. And like TJ
McConnell played in
McConnell,
that game.
but like off the bench, like McConnell and
Oh,
Jarris
yeah.
Walker are like your third string guys.
Right.
That's pretty darn
Yeah.
good.
Right.
My key to this game really is like whose pace, like what team's pace is this game going to be played at? Because if this is an up and down shootout, then the Pacers are probably going to win this game because the Pacers love to speed it up. They love to score like 120, 130 points a game. They may give up 119, but they'll win that game because they score a whole bunch. But if the Cavs can slow it down and get it to a grinded out, slower pace, then they probably have the edge in this matchup, I would say.
I agree. It is kind of up to pace, even if Halliburton's out. Yeah, no, that team is just run and done, and it'll be hard to stop.
Dude, 119. I gave it 155 last night to the Celtics, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Dude, they
Come on.
they can't do
Give them their
worse.
due.
They can't do worse. They're going to probably come out.
The Cavs and Celtics are two totally different teams, by the way.
Honestly, that game depends on who shoots better for like off the rip, like who can get. Actually, I don't know if I'll say that because Karras got hot in the beginning of that game on Saturday.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Cavs got off to a hot start. Then they
Yeah.
lost their legs late.
All right, let's move on. What's the next one?
Yeah, let's move on. So the next one, we've got the Knicks and the Bucks. This one on ESPN at 7:30 in Milwaukee. What do we think about this matchup? The only really injury thing is we don't know if RJ Barrett will give it a go. He didn't play last night in the game against Cleveland, but second night of a back-to-back. We'll see if he gives it a go.
Very fun game. I'm very interested.
Bucks
Yeah.
by 30.
Give me no.
Bucks by 30. Okay.
No. Give me the Knicks.
Go ahead, Goggle. Let's hear it.
Who on that team is guarding Jalen Brunson?
Who's
Literally
guarding
nobody.
Who's guarding Giannis?
Yeah, that's true. That's what I was wondering.
Mitchell Robinson will put him in Alcatraz. Giannis
Who's
a
that-
bum.
guarding Lopez?
Who's guarding Lopez? Who's guarding
Julius
yeah.
Randle can't guard either of them two, so that's the problem.
Randle
right there.
has been a garbage can.
You
Yeah.
don't need to when Brunson puts up 40.
Randle needs to play really well for them to have a chance, and so
And
does
he's
Mitchell
going to
and
play
everyone
well.
else they got.
They have to
'Cause
play a perfect game to have a chance.
The Bucks. I think Giannis is gonna have a big game, and
The
I also think
Bucks haven't looked like
The Bucks
this
haven't
amazing
looked
team
that
y'all are
great
putting them
either.
out to be. They have not looked good at all.
These
They're
are
they're playing in
two
the
these
Garden
are
though, right?
these are two teams that haven't looked very good to begin the year.
Is
So
it
you're
where are
telling
they playing?
me-
Let's start there. Where are they playing?
But
They're
you're
playing
telling
Milwaukee.
Oh,
Yeah. You're
like
telling
the
me
Garden.
first game of the tournament, a lot of national people watching to see how these first games go. You're telling me Giannis and Dame aren't going to want to show out?
Dame's gonna crumble.
Please.
Dame's gonna crumble.
When is he ever?
Don't give me that, please.
I would give
When is
the
he
edge.
ever?
I would give the edge to the Bucks in this game.
I would put the spread at like 10.
Put your watch away, Joey.
That's very interesting. I wouldn't go that large.
Randall and Brunson haven't done nothing. And
Which means,
the Bucks have,
He's
the
played
Bucks
a
have
top
the
5
matchup
perimeter
power
defender
with
every single game. Who's a
Giannis and
wing
Lopez.
defender for,
They don't. Giannis and Lopez. The Knicks don't have that match.
Who's gonna grab rebounds against Mitchell
They
Robinson?
can
Giannis
match.
hasn't been
See,
rebounding
this
well.
is the
Brooks
thing.
hasn't
These
been
two teams to
rebounding
me,
well.
are pretty evenly matched when you look at it with like the head-to-head matchups. Because, like Jackson just said with the rebounding's pretty similar. The Knicks have good perimeter defenders to put on Damian Lillard. The Bucks do not have perimeter defenders to put on Jalen Brunson, which is something that Brunson has had to face in every game of the season. That's a big reason why he's struggled. Randall, of course, he's struggled. He's going against Giannis, so he may have another rough one. But he could also be due for a big game. He takes a lot of bad shots, but there are games where those go down. He could be due with this game. I think
if RJ doesn't play?
If RJ doesn't play, yeah, that's tougher because then you got to put a smaller guy on Middleton.
Middleton's a garbage man. Middleton stinks. He's been terrible.
Still a former All-Star.
Yeah. I think that this is. I think that this is closer than you guys are thinking.
I agree.
But I would go with the Bucks. I would still go with the Bucks.
Would you put it at least 5.5?
Is this gonna be our pick 'em for tomorrow?
I'd go to I'd say 4.5 to 5.5.
All right.
I say it's a
then
decent.
give me New York. I don't care. Give me New York.
New York's like plus 250, 350.
They're about to shock you up. I don't care what the betting odds are.
Next game.
Yeah, next game.
All right, next game is Golden State at Oklahoma City. Now this could be a pretty fun matchup.
This will be a fun game.
This one's in OKC. Both of these teams are off to pretty decent starts to the season. The Thunder should be 4-1, but they blew that game to New Orleans last night, which was disappointing.
Give me OKC.
That was fun. That was a fun game. No, come on. That was a fun game to watch.
No, it was definitely fun, but I wish the Thunder
are
pulled
another
out
one of my
that game.
teams who I think are trending down a little bit after seeing what they did last night. I mean, I don't think their lineup is as strong as I thought it was to begin the year with Jalen, Lou Dort, and Chet and Shea. I mean, that core, they need another year, or they need some developing time still to get. I think Shea takes too many shots. I wrote
because he's a bucket.
There's 4 guys in the league who shoot more than 20 shots and under 50%, and then there's 5 guys who shoot more than 20 shots and above 50%, and the 5 guys in the above category are I think significantly better. The 5 guys in the above category are Luka, Spida, Tatum, Joel, and Durant. And below 50%, it's De'Aaron Fox, Cade Cunningham, and
Shai.
And Shea.
That's 3 guys.
I thought there was another one.
There should be 2 more.
Sorry.
No. I said 4 and 5, but and Tyler Hero's in that bottom category as well.
Oh my gosh.
Because of one game.
I'm saying that there's a stark contrast between those two, and Shea either needs to look to pass more or start hitting some more shots, and then I'll be a little bit more excited.
There is a significant difference between those guys that you named that shoot over 50% and the guys that shoot below.
Yes.
There is a big difference there.
I think Shea's been great to start the year. The reason why his numbers are so down is because when the Thunder had a terrible game against Denver, he went like 2 for 16 from the field. You take away that game, he's right at above 50% again.
He twisted an ankle last night too. The whole second half he looked off.
Yeah, now I did not like their last possession. You did not need a step back 3 down 2 against Herb Jones.
Reminded me of the Clippers as well. I mean, the Clippers took a lot of bad shots towards the end of the game. I don't understand why these teams just start chucking when it gets to like crunch time.
Yeah, I agree.
2016 Rockets.
Even like when you go to like watch the last couple minutes of a half, like within 2 and 3 minutes, there's a vast amount more threes that are being taken to just try and get some momentum going, and that really like can help, and it really can hurt too if you're not shooting.
Yeah, but like you look at the Thunder so far with Shea, he's averaging 25 points, leads the team, 7 rebounds, second on the team, 6.5
Mhm.
assists, leads the team over Giddy,
I'm with it.
2.5 steals. Like
Mhm.
he has been an absolute beast. His only thing, the reason why he's not averaging as many points is because for whatever reason he's not getting to the free throw line as much. He's only taking 5 attempts per game. Last year he took like 10.
That's probably
Wow.
why he's
So
shooting less
Probably,
percentage because
yeah.
he's just not looking to get to the hole.
yeah,
I want.
he's taking more mid-range shots for sure than getting to
Yeah.
the basket.
Uh, switch it up to the Golden State. I haven't
Yeah.
been able to watch
Yeah.
the game, like a couple of the games, but I did see that since Draymond's back, they did move Chris Paul to the bench. How does
Yes.
that look?
I like
I'm
it.
curious as myself because I haven't seen it.
I think
I like
they have
it.
the highest bench differential this season, I believe. If
Wow.
I'm not
Really. You know what?
I
That's a
believe
good.
they're
I
plus
wonder
31 with the bench right now.
I wonder who leads
That's
the
what I
league in
saw.
bench scoring right now.
I was about to say because him, for me at least, like
Probably Cam Thomas.
that starting
He's
lineup with the Warriors is nuts, and then you put the point guard on the bench and running that second unit. That's nuts. That's
Point
to
God
me.
who's
That's
been
almost
playing
like a
Game
cheat code.
7.
That's almost
Yeah,
like
like his numbers don't look that crazy at all. The guy, I mean, especially when you look at his shooting, the guy is shooting 5% from 3 on the season. But
What was
Chris
that?
Paul.
he's shooting 5% from 3. Yes. He's
Oh my God.
he's 1 for 19 from 3 on the season.
Uh,
But
Even Godwin can shoot better than that.
yes, he
I'm a way better. Don't. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. Don't even get me started.
but
yeah.
despite all that, his plus minus in these games have been huge. He's got a
Mm.
plus 22, plus 17. He's been a positive for the Warriors in every single game. And his assist to turnover ratio is crazy as well. Like in his games where he's come off the bench, he's had 7 assists to 1 turnover, 5 assists to 1 turnover. In the game last night against Sacramento, 8 assists to no turnovers.
Yeah.
He has been great.
Just running that offense is just a cheat code.
That's a great spot for him to be in.
Oh
Because
my
if he can
goodness.
run, he can do 5, 6, 7, 8 turnovers without or assists without turning it over and just get guys buckets who are coming off the bench. I mean, that's a point guard right there. Yeah.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
was very hesitant when he moved to Golden State, but honestly, it's almost like a match made in heaven. I think.
So is he closing though? Was he on the court last night at the end?
He was there. See, the problem with that, and they were talking about it on the Warriors broadcast, and you could really see this with the Kings. That's why the Warriors almost lost this game. Is that when you play these two small guards together, you're gonna give up a ton of offensive rebounds, and the Kings doubled them up on the offensive glass last night, and that nearly lost them the game. So that's where it's great for your offense, but for the rebounding, for a team that's really not that great at rebounding already, it just makes it worse.
Yeah,
Especially when they go against the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson will eat that team alive.
Dude, you are going crazy over Mitchell Robinson, Jackson.
Well,
I
he's
love
been beasting the
he
Cavs
has
for 2
been.
nights in a row.
I do have to give him credit. I do
Got
have
like
to give him
40
credit.
rebounds in 2 games.
Yeah, he's been great. But so
hasn't shown it.
Golden State Thunder, what do we think about this matchup here for tomorrow?
Thunder.
I circled the Thunder and then I scribbled it and then I circled Golden State. So I'm really on the fence. I think it could go either way.
I'm gonna go with Golden State personally. I think that I didn't even know that bench differential was not like this is. I think that especially if they figure that out like at the end, like you said with the offensive rebounds, it's gonna be nuts.
Miles, who you got?
Oh man, that's tough.
This is definitely a best matchup of what we've talked about so far.
Yeah, it probably is low key.
Who's gonna guard Shea?
That's the problem. The Thunder have the size.
They have the size. Lou Dort. Probably Lou Dort on Curry. We're thinking, right?
Yeah, I would go Lou Dort on Curry.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's gonna guard Shea.
Yeah, you really don't have guys. They'll put CP on him when he's in the game, and Gary Payton when he comes off the bench.
Oh,
that ain't gonna work. No.
That's not.
They're gonna have to put Clay on him.
They would have to put.
But
Clay.
then who's gonna guard Giddey and Jalen Williams?
They're gonna put Clay or Dort on him, or not Dort.
You know what? How have we gone this long talking about the Thunder and we haven't talked about Chet Holmgren yet? He has been great.
How many blocks
but
is he
he's
gonna have? That was my
he's
other
gonna get Chet Holmgren is gonna get absolutely babied by Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney's gonna eat him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Chet Holmgren weighs about half as much as Kevon Looney.
One thing I noticed about Chet is he is not quick up and down the court. He's a lot of times the last one back on a lot of possessions. Him and I'll throw another guy in this category. He's the same as Zion in that respect.
Yeah.
'Cause Zion is the same.
Zion's
They just
chubby.
they can't get up and down as much as you would hope, and they have to play a lot of minutes. So
Chet
they need to be able to do that.
Reminds me a lot of like Evan Mobley his rookie year.
I was gonna say,
you
especially
don't want to go in the paint when he's there, and if you are, you're gonna make like a spectacular shot if it goes in, and if it doesn't, you went against him in the paint. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, I got
Cavs.
to see him when I went to the Thunder Cavs game where Chet had like 7 blocks. He probably should have been credited for a bunch more. And what
should have been 9.
and what I noticed was like, my goodness, for a rookie, he is so great at just being like vertical when he's jumping in the air to block a shot or just to defend. He is great. He's great at the vertical jump there on a contest.
Reminds me of a young Roy Hibbert.
Roy Hibbert.
If you remember him in Indiana, he was the master of just going straight up.
Yeah, I'll sign on that. Roy Hibbert's a beast, bro. He was a 2K machine. Roy Hibbert, bro. You're not scoring.
We need to see.
Give me Pacers, Paul George and Roy.
What about Danny Granger?
He was there. Yeah.
He was there.
He was knocked out.
Okay, for this game, I'm picking Golden State. Steph's gonna go crazy in the fourth quarter to close it out. That's what I'm going with.
Thunder then, since they're at home and we can split the votes.
Okay.
Has a single person agreed with me on a pick yet?
Okay, from here on out, we got some iffy games to talk about. This next one, we've got the Brooklyn Nets at the Chicago Bulls.
It's
the mid-off. This is what I call the mid-off.
No,
Mid-off.
no, the Brooklyn Nets are a fantastic basketball team.
They're injured.
Oh, give me a break.
Yeah, Claxton, Dinwiddie, and Dorian Smith are all out or game time decisions for that game.
Center for the Nets now. The most versatile center in
the NBA. Ben's grabbed 10 rebounds in each game to start the year.
He's a rebounding machine.
He's been good.
They need I know that those Chicago dudes, Zach LaVine and DeMar, they can guard Mikal pretty well. Mikal's a good defender in his own right, but he doesn't have the offensive firepower, I guess, to drop 30 on one of those dudes. I don't think.
Because Cam's gonna drop like 80.
When I looked at the Bulls stats, it is crazy how much of a 3-man show it is. Like, it's not even funny, and all 3 of them are not playing that great.
Vujicic?
No, just all 3 of them. Like, LaVine is averaging 24 points on 40% shooting.
Inflated.
DeRozan is just averaging 22 points per game. Vucevic is averaging 16 and 12. He's been pretty good, but he's only shooting 23% from 3. The whole Bulls team has been terrible from 3. And, like, Patrick Williams, as we were talking about it before the show, he's averaging 4 points per game, he's shooting 27% from the field, 12% from 3.
I had to drop him so quickly on my fantasy team. I was like,
him and Chris Paul.
There's no shot.
Need to go to the Stephen Curry School of Shooting.
He's so bad.
The whole Bulls
Chris
team
Paul is there right now.
I know. He can't get any help.
I'm going to call it, though. LaVine is going to cook Ben Simmons for at least 40.
Dang.
Dude. Stop. Why are you hating on him so much? He's a great player.
Jax. He's not a great player. He's a good player. He's a good player.
What's your definition of great, please?
Former All-Star.
That bomb in Orlando, Paolo Banchero. Who you praise every day.
The
you
Magic.
Were just begging to get Paolo from me.
The Magic have been great. The Magic have been good so far.
Yeah, Paolo's playing a different role there, I think, this year, where he's not the rookie who's just trying to do whatever. They're playing for some they've won.
They're playing as a team.
Right.
Their first game was a fluke, by the way.
All right, we're talking about the Nets and the Bulls.
Sorry.
So.
Yes, we are talking about the Nets and the Bulls.
I didn't say who they played.
Bulls win. LaVine's dropping 40.
Jeez,
now that game
Now
ahead.
that you say that, the fact that Levine's only averaging 24 after he had that 51-point game is kind of crazy. That shows you how rough his season has been so far. On
Did you throw DeMar's numbers out there? Because I don't think I heard.
22 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists on 44% shooting.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's okay, but it's not as good as, before.
Yeah.
Are they tanking in Chicago?
Dude, no, they're not tanking. They're only 2-3. They were what I noticed, I was watching them in the Mavericks game yesterday, and they were close. They were in the game, but their offense in crunch time looked very like iffy, like they did not
Stagnant.
know what to do.
Oh yeah.
That was kind
Who's their
of
coach?
rough to see. Billy Donovan.
Oh yeah.
Florida Gator legend.
Oh yeah.
All right, I got. It depends who plays for the Brooklyn, but I got the Nets anyways.
Yeah, I got the Nets too. I don't think it's gonna be even close. The Bulls
I think
are
it'll be
terrible.
probably like a 2 or 3 possession game for sure.
Where are they playing?
Chicago.
That don't matter.
Bulls, it'll be very close even if Levine drops 40 because, like Miles said, that Bulls rest of the team is absolute hot garbage.
I'm going
Levine-
Bulls too.
Levine is not
Split
dropping
pod
40.
again. All right.
Split. All right.
All right,
Let's see if we can keep it going.
Next game, we've got two of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference to start the year, and that's the Washington Wizards and the Miami Heat. The Heat
Give me
won.
Miami.
The Heat 1-4 to start the season, but they have to. They are gonna win this game. Or like, are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
Incoming Tyler Hero masterclass for like the 8th time this season. He's a beast.
Dude, now that we actually have a
Best
chance to
white
talk.
guy in the NBA.
Best player in the NBA.
Probably the best white guy
Playing
in the
with my
NBA right
man.
now. Him and Austin Reeves. I'd rather have Tyler Hero.
Austin Reeves has been.
Reeves
playing
has been
terrible.
rough to begin the year. But now that we're talking about the Wizards, dude, Jordan Poole and
Awful.
he has not been good, unfortunately.
They're the funniest team to watch. I'm sorry. Like, I will love rooting for them only because of the memes that have been coming from them. It is so funny.
The
What
look-away
other
three.
team would throw an off the backboard alley-oop down 20?
Yeah.
That actually happened.
Jeez. That's
They're
bad.
just they're weird, dude.
I
don't
got
see them-
Miami in this one.
Yeah, do we really? I don't think there's too much to say. Miami's gonna pull it out. This is they've just been rough to start. Jimmy's got to be more aggressive.
The question is, are we about to see playoff Jimmy because he's got something to play for?
I don't know, because I think Bam, he's probably going to let Tyler do his thing because Tyler's been doing his thing, and Bam's going to be a huge
No,
night.
Tyler and
He's
Bam
in for a
have
huge
been-
night in those games. So I don't think
Tyler and Bam
Jimmy.
have both been fantastic.
Yeah, I don't see anyone stopping Bam. I mean, they got
Like-
Mike Muscala as like their second guy.
Daniel
after
Gafford,
who's
yeah.
out. So
I mean, being someone who's literally watched every single Heat game this year, it's honestly been the Tyler Hero and Bam show. Like nobody else has really showed up.
well, that's what I would
if
expect.
they really want to get better this year, though, Hemi Butler's going to need to show up.
1000%. All right,
Yeah.
next game we'll go back to the Western Conference
West.
for the Grizzlies and the Blazers. Two more pretty rough teams to begin the season.
Oh,
The Grizzlies, the
Good point.
only team that have not won a game yet, which is crazy. Like, who would have expected
dude.
0-5 to start the year?
I would have at least given them one.
I'm gonna
Wait,
go-
hey, you and Nick
left
both
side
had
of the
them going
screen,
15 and 10
10.
to start the year.
Yeah, they got to win 10 straight or whatever. 15
That's
out of
what
the
I'm
next
saying.
20. They got to win 15
that's
out
what
of the
I
next
said.
20.
Like, I give them maybe one game in that for those first many, but mine. So I'm even shocked by that. Like, I didn't think.
Well, that was before they lost Steven Adams. Give me that.
It
And
don't matter. Steven
and-
Adams is not gonna have.
and they've looked
couple games clean.
bad. And I don't know. Taylor Jenkins is struggling down there. He's got to figure something out because they're yeah.
Yeah, I
You
mean
gotta try something new.
it's not like the Blazers have been that much better. I mean, they've gotten I mean,
But
Shaden
they're-
Sharp
not
has
been
been
good.
good.
They're a rebuilding
DeAndre
team. It's
Ayton's
kind of
been bad.
expected out of them. The Grizzlies were the 2 seed.
Yeah, it is very
Yeah, but
true.
they don't have Ja playing. They don't have Ja Rule Morant playing.
I got Grizzlies getting their
That
first
would-
dub for sure.
I agree.
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna take the Blazers. Wait, where are they playing?
Portland.
Blazers.
That
Scoot
doesn't
Henderson
that doesn't
coming out.
matter.
All I
With
know
Portland even having
all I
fans at
know
this
is
point-
They need to give DeAndre Ayton the basketball. I'm so mad. They don't
They
give
got too
him
many
the ball.
guards.
Miles, do you really want them to give DeAndre Ayton the ball so Jaren Jackson can send it 12 rows deep?
Yes, I would
Crap
prefer.
out of it.
He's gonna guard Jeremy Grant. Grant's been on fire.
Grant's been fired.
But no, I was looking at his numbers because because Ayton's numbers have been so low to begin the year offensively. I'm just like, why? Like his shot attempts are so low. So I looked at his post touches for every
Yeah.
year of his career.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you were ranting to me about this.
Yes, I was.
You should have
Every
looked
year.
at him in college too, because you would have got even more mad.
Yeah. So every year in his career with Phoenix, he averaged somewhere between 4 to 6 post-ups per game, which is pretty good considering all the plays that happen in a game. 4 to 6 may sound low, but that's pretty good considering all the plays. Portland so far, he's gotten 1 post touch per game, which is ridiculous for the main guy you got in return for the best player in your franchise's history. That's all I have to say. They need to give him the ball.
Alfred Camino has entered the chat.
Duckworth has entered the chat.
Brandon Roy has entered the
Brandon
chat.
Roy has entered the chat.
Greg Oden has entered the chat.
I guess that brings up a good point because that's not a sure lock thing. Would you guys?
Is Dame?
Yeah, for Blazers' best player in franchise history, would you take him? I guess the other guy would be
Didn't they
what?
have Clyde?
Clyde Drexler, right? Clyde
Yeah,
Drexler
Clyde
or
That's
Dame?
why you do have to give it to Dame.
It's definitely Dame.
You have to
Oh,
give it to
LaMarcus
Dame.
you're throwing out there? LaMarcus is in the combo, no?
What about Zach Collins?
Okay,
No.
all right, moving on.
Stop.
Last game, and this is a pretty
Wait, I didn't
good
make my
matchup
pick.
as well. We've got the Mavericks and the Nuggets as the last
Mavericks
game.
and Nuggets.
1-1, right?
The Mavericks have not lost a game yet. The
Right.
Denver Nuggets just lost their first game on Wednesday to
the
Minnesota.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
Talking.
The
Yeah, 3
They look bad in that game, Denver.
They did.
I
They
don't know.
really did.
110
someone
to
is dropping
89.
40. Nikola Jokic is gonna have a 40-point quintuple double against the Dallas.
It didn't even matter.
He's gonna drop a 40-point quintuple double, and he's gonna be walking down yawning like he's so bored with the game.
No, he's gonna have his phone out watching some horse races midway down the court.
He's gonna turn to Jamal in the bench like, "Yo, look at the horse I just bought."
Oh my goodness. But what do you guys think about? Well, first let's talk about the Mavericks a little bit. Like I said, they have not lost a game. Boston's the only other team that hasn't lost a game.
Boston.
I'm very surprised by this. I would not have expected Dallas
wouldn't
to
have
be
either,
the
no.
last undefeated team in the West.
Luke has been unconscionable though.
He has been. He's been
Like,
unbelievable.
I think that Derek Lively's going to get his welcome to the NBA moment when they play Denver, though. So watch out for
Going
that.
against the
It's
best
going to be
player in the NBA.
Derek Lively's been playing.
Bro's
really
gonna get a
well,
lesson on horse racing too mid-game.
Jokic is going to have time to sit in the post, pull out his phone, and teach him while he's scoring on him.
Oh my gosh! But
Nah, it'll be fun though. I mean, I'm excited to see how Lively plays against him.
Are we taking over under on 1.5 MPJ assists?
okay, hold on. We need to tell Jackson, tell the viewers what we've been talking
Well,
about.
I'm sure some people have seen it, but there's like this meme going around. It's like you have life or death. Who are you choosing, Cam Thomas or Michael Porter Jr.? They have to get 4 assists in a game. I think I might just die at that point.
I was gonna say it's almost like if you're in the Saw movie. You're pretty
Cam
much
hasn't
done.
had more than 2. MPJ had 3 one game. I feel like you might want to take MPJ just because if he wants to dump it off to Jokic a couple times, maybe.
That's a
Especially
career
this
high
game.
for him.
Definitely MPJ.
Yeah, I would too.
I think I'll take Orr. I don't know who Orr is.
I'll take Orr.
I'll take Orr for.
Orr.
But yeah, we'll see. Kyrie Irving. We'll see if he plays in this one. He's been out the last couple games with, I think, a foot injury, so he's missed the last few for the Mavericks. But key thing to watch in this game, the Mavericks. One of the main reasons that they've been undefeated so far is they are the best fourth quarter team in the NBA so far to begin the year.
Thanks to Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah,
balling, bro.
Ball.
Him and Grant have been stepping up without Kyrie.
Guess
Kyrie's
who's got
been out.
both of those guys? Me.
Yeah, no, those two have been playing very well. And Goglin, I'll give you your flowers. Those are good pickups. Why not? Like,
Good
yeah,
pickups.
good pickups.
Solid pickups. But all
Mhm.
things considered, Denver before that Minnesota game, they were looking like the best team in the NBA still. They've been looking great minus that
agree.
one
I
game.
will say, like I said last week, Jamal Murray needs to be way more aggressive if they want to keep winning games.
We say
Because
that
Jokic-
pretty much all the time. Even last year in the regular season, it wasn't until the playoffs that he really was just like, all right, here we go. Almost
Well,
like
Dallas
a Jimmy
doesn't
Butler
play
situation.
defense. Dallas doesn't play
Oh,
defense.
Dallas-
so Jamal Murray is going to be
Dallas
aggressive.
doesn't know that's not in their vocabulary. It's just not.
Right.
It's
Other than
almost
Grant
like
Williams.
when Mike D'Antoni was the coach of the Rockets, defense was not in that vocabulary.
Let's
Did Mavericks still have Maxi Kleber?
Yes, they do. He
So-
didn't play much yesterday.
he stinks.
Nice.
I was
He's
going
a
to talk
garbage
about
man.
him and Dwight Powell because the Mavericks play small, and if Derek Lively's going to be like their one big guy, do they have anyone else who plays power forward or center at all?
Outside of Powell and Kleba, no, but they don't really play them a whole lot.
That's what I'm
What
saying.
you're gonna put Grant Williams on Jokic?
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
Grant Williams. No, he's going to guard.
I
AD,
mean,
bro. he's going to guard Gordon.
Jokic is gonna step on his head like Embiid did.
Well, recently, so they've been starting Luka, Josh Green, Derek Jones Jr., Grant Williams, and Derek Lively.
Mm-hmm. Bringing Hardaway off the bench. They got
Yeah, I gotta give it
Kyrie.
in that Bulls game. I was talking about this in my video when I did the game for them against the Bulls.
The Miles Irvin show.
They hit 21 threes, and Luka only made one of them, which is crazy. Grant Williams and Hardaway each made 7 threes in the same
told you
game.
That. You cannot take credit for that. I told you that.
I just saw
You
the
were
box
so surprised
score.
that I told you that. Oh, yeah.
Jackson,
right.
make your own show then.
Yeah, Jackson, Jackson Talks Sports.
I got a title, The Goggle Show, the worst takes of all time.
The Houston Rockets show.
The Houston
The
Rockets.
best fantasy team of all time too. Kicking all y'all's butts this week
All right.
and last week.
Oh my goodness.
happened
But
this week?
yeah, so that's all the in-season tournament games. I guess one other thing that we should probably bring up is the new courts. The brand
those
new
are cool.
courts for all 30 teams. What do you guys think?
So clean.
Joe, you don't like them?
They're nice. They're nice.
What?
The jerseys are terrible. I was just thinking about the jersey. Some of them are really nice. Like the Cavs one's pretty good, but it's nothing crazy.
I'm a fan of like the different colors they put on the courts. I saw a couple like lime green, some
The
purple. I'm
colors
like, yo,
are
that's
really
gonna be
cool.
fun.
What they did with that is great.
In
What
my
I
City
in my
edition jerseys are
opinion,
terrible too.
wait, what'd you say, Jackson?
The city edition jerseys are awful too.
Yeah,
Well,
the city
yeah,
edition jerseys are absolute hot garbage.
In my opinion, the courts make up for the bad jerseys. That's what I
The
think.
courts are way better
Yeah,
than
but-
the jerseys. I
But
agree.
the thing is, I feel like you want the jerseys to be better than the courts because people aren't buying the courts; they're buying the jerseys.
Yeah, that
Good
is very
point.
true. That is a very good point.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Very good point.
See, I should be
You know what,
running
you're
the
right.
NBA. Should be running the NBA. Adam Silver, I'm taking your job.
Why?
You
Because
will be
the
commissioner of the Guangdong Tigers, buddy.
Sri Lanka Serpents.
oh my goodness gracious.
I need a custom Sri Lankan Serpents jersey.
When I become the commissioner of the NBA, the logo is going to be 2 players, not 1. Al P and Dylan Brooks side by side.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Is there anything else you guys wanted to go over here? I know, Joe.
I don't think we can get any better or worse than whatever Goglin just said.
Yeah.
I think it's a good place to cut it.
That is very true. All righty. Well, in-season tournament games starting off tonight, all night. We just previewed all these games. Leave comments down below with what you think about, all these games happening tonight. What you think about Jackson's face right now.
Nice.
I'm just the Dylan Brooks disrespect needs to stop. He's so efficient.
We haven't talked about him once.
Well, he needs to be talked about.
All right, if you guys
You
enjoyed
literally
this
told us you
video,
didn't want to talk about the Rockets, and here you are complaining about not
He's
talking
shooting
about the Rockets.
62% from the 3-point line.
all right,
62.
if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more NBA content. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Woo!
Ridiculous.